I don't know I don't know what else to say, but I feel like there's more I could say. It's so hard to make statements when I don't fucking know anything. But I think too much. Am I not, should I just say, oh, the game looks bad, and then not care? It looks fine, and it is fine. The game is fine. So for context, the first half of this video is me playing a game that is a fine game, but not for me. And then the rest of the video is me sort of having an introspective breakdown about the nature of criticism and my relationship as somebody who is putting out their opinion publicly between the consumer, who is my audience, and the developers. So, if you like the zombie graveyard stuff, that's the first half. But it'd be cool if you stuck around for the second half. Kind of put it all out there for a bit. A little vulnerable moment. You might like it. And if you don't, you should like and subscribe to let me know. Anyway, push it on. Hello. This is Zombie Graveyard Simulator, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm just kind of assuming it's exactly what is described was what's on the 10, like I think it's gonna be a zombie graveyard simulator. Let's see what it has to say though. In this game, zombie attacks occur in waves each night, and their difficulty increases day by day. However, for players who prefer a calmer and less challenging experience, there's relax mode. Relax mode, zombie health and damage values are significantly reduced, so we'll keep that off for right now. But that is definitely a cool thing to have as an option. I guess I should have been tipped off by the fact that they're zombies, but I sort of was just assuming this would be more sim, like we'd be doing more of the graveyard stuff than the zombie stuff. Maybe that was foolish to assume though. Welcome. We live in a world where the dead turn into zombies if their bodies are not properly cared for. People send their loved ones to special graveyards where they can receive proper care and be protected from zombies at night. Seeing an opportunity, you made your first investment by purchasing this old farmhouse and decided to turn it into a graveyard. Okay, so we go to the morgue and unlock it to start. And they got the hiccups. Where delivered bodies are stored, built-in freezer cabinets help slow decay. Okay, cool. Clean start. Since the farm we purchased is quite old, it's naturally a bit cluttered with trash. So we need to clear everything out and put it in the trash container. And then for larger debris, we need the hammer tool. Sounds good to me. Oh, it costs 2 energy to pick up trash. We need a hammer for that. That's fine. Now let's throw this trash bag. Where was the... Oh, here it is. Nice, nice. Get ready to repair. To demolish, move, or repair, you'll need a hammer. Luckily, someone left theirs somewhere around here. So we got to pick it up and equip it from our backpack. Is it going to tell us where the hammer is? Yeah, that's fine. I thought I'd have to look for it, but... Okay, equipment wheel. We have to put it in our backpack first. We have to put it on the wheel. Equip. Okay, time for restoration. To turn this dusty garage into a fully functional morgue, you'll need to complete a few important steps. So we got to repair the garage door, unlock the cabinet, and organize the workspace. So yeah, we got to keep our hammer close. First of all, we got to fix this up. Where's our energy? Oh, it's down there. Okay. So we have 73 energy left. That's not bad. We unlock the door. Oh. Oh, so we just unlocked the one in the middle. Okay, that's fun. Arrange the workspace. What does that mean? Oh, we have to fix the table. Nice. Now we have a computer. Time to start filling it. Every day, funeral service lists new bodies, and you can request a delivery once per day. When making a request, you'll see each body's a special request and the average earnings you can make upon delivery and daily. Also a limit to how many bodies you can request, but the limit increases as you make offers and complete transactions. Don't forget to negotiate. Oh man, I don't like the idea of haggling for somebody's corpse. but I suppose we're in it at this point. Add a body to your delivery list and send your price offer. Sophia Davis. She died of pneumonia at age 55. Needs a burial with primrose and a basic gravestone. Offer revenue 57, daily visitor revenue 35. Increase the base price and they will send your offer. Do I have to? I guess. I really don't. It's so much worse that like you're like, okay, how about I charge you more? And they go, that's fine. Let's do it this way. Well, okay, I guess it would make me feel bad because this makes it seem like we gave them a pitch and they just accepted it. Storing bodies in the morgue. Each body has its own decay resistance, which you can see by looking at it if it reaches 0. Bodies stored here can last a few days without decaying, but doesn't mean it will be preserved forever. That's why you need to manage the bodies you plan to process each day. For now, place the bodies here to retrieve them later when you're ready. Okay. Oh, they just pull up with it in the back of a truck? Yikes. Okay. Yep, we'll just slide that in there. And now we can go to the graveyard. Okay, so we need a shovel. Obviously, every gravekeeper needs a shovel. I'm surprised it wasn't our first tool. Okay, so we choose a spot to dig, and then we dig it. And then white body bags are for burial, and yellow are for cremation. Yeah, I can imagine our revenue would drop significantly. Oh, I thought it was going to be like outlined spots. I think maybe she would like to be by this tree, I think. Oh, okay. That's not how it works. You have to hit B. Okay. That's a good spot for it. Okay. Okay. Dude, did we put it backwards? We sure did, didn't we? When I said she wanted to be by the tree, I meant she wanted to look at it. I heard she liked to look at trees. Okay, yeah, we'll just carry it then. That's fine. And sprint, we'll get a little bit of hustle going. I'll tell you this, something tells me that our business would not be getting we wouldn't be getting a lot of business if people stayed after they dropped off their loved ones and saw me just carrying them fireman style, sprinting across the acreage. Sweet. This one requires a gravestone and a flower. Select a gravestone to complete this request. So they just gave us one, I suppose. And you know, I guess it makes sense that it would come in a box. I guess I just didn't, for whatever reason, I didn't expect that. So energy will gradually. Okay, so water source collects water easy. We can drink water to bring our energy up, and we can upgrade our water to get energy faster. Not too shabby. Oof, it costs 20 energy to get some water from the well. Alright. Water source on cooldown. Oh, we gotta drink some of the water. In this graveyard, I was trying to figure out how to equip it on my wheel, and I used it. But that's what I needed to do, so it brought up the tutorial. Various stations you can use to increase your income. One of them is the flower stand, but it's inactive and in need of maintenance, like you did with morgue. Start by unlocking the stand. Okay. We have the funds, so why not? Picking up the trash. Pick. Ooh, they've got a computer over here as well. Interesting. Oh, and we'll have a bed where we can sleep until night. Oh. I am definitely picking up a pistol. Dude, for a second I forgot that there's going to be zombies at some point. Throwing out the trash. Alright. You make a little bit of money doing trash too. That's nice. Alright. Now we need to complete the second request, a flower. requesting a primrose. So we can get flowers by planting seeds, but for now we'll order them. So we'll have a garden going where we can garden. Dude, it seems like this is pretty cool actually. It seems like there's a lot of moving parts at play here. I'm hoping that they all fit together. I'm also noticing I like the fake OS here. Obviously, classic background, but also I like Avocado S. And you can't see behind my camera, but there's one that says hire wire, so I assume that's for hiring employees. But I think it wants us to go to the dark market. Yeah. Oh, it's the tutorial, so they're only gonna let us buy one. Whatever, man. Oh, okay. So our stuff that comes in from the market will be here. So during the day, visitors come to pay respects at buried graves or collect the ashes of cremated bodies. The gate must be open during visitor hours. Visitors looking to buy flowers will head to the flower stand, choose their desired flower, and hand you money. Don't miss this. Okay. So if we're not here to actually do the exchange, then we won't make money. So that seems to be what we're doing during the day. We'll be organizing here, making money. Looks like we have our first customer. 2 primrose. Okay. 2. Wrap them up, hand them to her. Okay, $20. That's crazy. When night falls, zombies will attack the graveyard to feast on the freshly buried bodies. It's up to you to protect your work. With each passing night, zombies will become stronger and more numerous, so you must always stay one step ahead. Alright, so this is where it starts to get real. Yeah, we're definitely going to want to put that pistol on the Hot Wheel. Ooh. Uh-oh. I was not ready. I was not ready at all. Okay. Oof, dude, they're taking a good bit of bullets, man. So when I don't know why this didn't click with me until right now. Dude, but it's Call of Duty Zombies. I can't rebuild the barricade while looking away though. Oh no, dude, I don't have enough energy. That's not very good. Where are they? There they are. Oh no. Alright, come on, man. Dude, I just feel like they shouldn't take that many headshots. Oof. So we didn't really make much money at all today, huh? But we, thankfully we didn't have to worry too much about the zombies, I guess. Oof. Oh, we just straight up have no energy though? Now that you've completed your first night. Okay, everything is in our hands. Open the door for cremations. There are several stations in the graveyard. One of them is crematorium. Okay, so I think that seems to be the next step, right? Cheap seeds, expensive harvest. The flowers you sell to visitors are quite expensive in the store, but after unlocking the farm, you can buy seeds and grow them for much less. In addition to that, almost every food has its own special buff. Some restore health. Okay. So the farm actually seems like it may be the way to go above the crematorium. Because it seems like the crematorium is just going to be extra work to do, whereas the farm is going to be giving us buffs and stuff. That seems nice. So, okay, so there's a chapel where people can grieve and leave money in the donation box. Also a small shop inside where visitors can buy keepsakes and souvenirs. Oh my god, yeah, buy souvenir at the Graveyard Chapel. Out of everything in the game could be seen as morose in some certain way, like, you know, the laissez-faire way you sprint across the lawn with a body in your hands, stuff like that. Selling a souvenir at the gift shop is the only one that actually doesn't feel like that one just feels a little bit too out there. I never seen some shit like that before in my life. But I've never been in any of the buildings at a graveyard either, so maybe they do have merch. Well, I'll tell you what I need to do to start. I need to drink some water and fix these barricades. So I guess it's time to see what bodies are available. Rocket explosion? Jesus. Yikes, dude. Addison Ross had a stroke at 25. I mean, yeah, I guess we take that one because it's slightly more money. Gross. I didn't even think about that we would need ammunition for the pistol as well. Let's just not think about it too hard right now. I'll buy some more Primrose too, just while we're here. Oh, zombie parts can be used as fertilizer. Oh, yeah, dude. So we actually definitely need to get more pistol ammo. Put it that close to the... Oh, actually, now that I know that they come through the holes in the wall, I'm going to put all of these people over here. That seems like the smarter thing to do. And we will go ahead and open for the day. I just want to open for the day just so that we can, while I'm doing this, I assume there will be somebody that's coming up. Insufficient energy. Say psych right now. Okay, and then we have Primrose available. Okay, well, I'm not quite ready to skip over the day yet. I absolutely need to buy pistol ammo. Maybe she wants to buy flowers now. I'll be here. I'm standing here. Hello. Oh. She wants to go to the chapel, but it's closed. Hi, ma'am. Yes, would you like some flowers? We have them over here. Ah, dude, it doesn't even... Low key, it kind of doesn't even feel fun to, like, usually I like to try and goof around with the people that come to my shops, but for obvious reasons doesn't feel as fun to mess with people here. Okay. I guess we just oh, no, no, no. Yo, stop that. They paid good money to be buried here. Stop. Okay. I bet that's just wave one, huh? Oh, is he still alive? Dude, there's just something that feels very anticlimactic about this. Like, I don't know. I guess, like, if I were to describe it to you, right? You might be like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. But well, first of all, the song looping like this doesn't help. Oh, he's a boomer. Let me get to different music. Okay. All right, this seems like a good spot for us to start. Games like this are strange to me. I don't think this is a bad game. I think it's very clear that it's a small studio. And let me tell you this, man. I've tried a lot of simulator type games. And I think in terms of gameplay, this is by far the most interesting that I've taken a look at compared to any of these other like shop type simulator games. They all seem to heavily rely on the same core gameplay loop of stuff like TCG Simulator and stuff, you know. This seems like it's trying to take a very interesting angle outside of that. I think the idea of balancing the cozy shop management thing during the day with more action intensive things at night is really fun idea. And I think for what it is, I think this game is pretty cool. It seems like more and more games are inspired by mobile game progression systems, but they are doing it out without microtransactions, you know? Like how this game is set up. I feel as if I described this game to you, you might assume it was a mobile game just because there are so many mobile games based around farming and zombies. I don't think I'll be playing the full game of this, but it's not for any one reason in particular. I think it's a culmination of a lot of reasons, and I kind of want to talk through them so that I have a better idea and better understanding. But also because I think it's important for as somebody who's sharing their opinions online. I wouldn't say I'm trying to become a tastemaker, but objectively, by putting my opinion out there for other people to see and to digest, I derive some value from it, or I think there's some value in it. So to only throw out really good games that I enjoy, it doesn't feel like the right thing to do, but I also don't want to rail into a game that I don't necessarily like just for the sake of putting out mean content. There will definitely be games that I'm just unabashedly mean to, that's for sure. I don't think Graveyard Simulator is going to be one of them, man. I think this seems like a small dev team that was inspired by lots of different types of games, which I don't know how old the dev team is, but I feel like I'm 31, and I feel like plus or minus 10 years of me, if you are a gamer, you probably have seen zombies and farming in multiple different forms. So it only makes sense to want to do a game like that. I think for me personally, where the sticking point is it almost seems like too much to deal with at this point. And let me rephrase that as well. Because my computer is such dog shit, I think if I was sitting here right now and this wind was blowing all the grass in perfect, you know, like if I wasn't seeing some stuttering and some jagged edges and stuff, it would make the game a lot smoother to play. My time with the game feels like it's heavily extended when I'm having performance issues. It's very hard for me. I can get over performance issues, and I don't mind running a game on much lower graphical settings than other people might have to. Where it starts to be a problem is when I can't hold frames consistently. And I don't like to hold that against developers. I will say there's always exceptions to the rule. There's developers that make games that I can't believe run on my computer. I can't think of them right now because I'm pretty sure it was probably some demos and stuff. But I'm constantly surprised playing my computer and seeing a game that looks really good not having any performance issues. So I'm not going to hold it against them that their machine doesn't run as well on on a low budget machine. But I think that's, I said but, because I think that's a natural extension of them being a smaller studio. You can't just pay somebody to make sure that the game is optimized, and you don't have the benefit of, you know, AAA developer experience and resources and knowledge bases and stuff that would help optimize your game. I get all of that. But that's the main reason why I don't see myself putting a lot of time into it. But I also, for a lot of games like that, they end up in the maybe later folder on Steam. Just meaning that when I get my new computer, I'm going to go through that folder and I'm going to reassess and try and pick some of those games because they really blew me away with the experience. I just couldn't really fully dedicate spending money to it because it just wasn't running well. And I don't think this is going to go there either. I think for me, it's a bit morose. That's not to say that I couldn't. I almost feel like you could get away with it if it was a little bit more cartoony. Sort of, you know, Hanna-Barbera rubber hose animation, like just like an older cartoon style animation where it was a little bit more slapstick. I actually think that this premise would work a lot better because, again, strictly just for me, the gears in my heart that turn and make me feel empathetic, like, really kind of kept getting pangs when I'm playing this game. Just because I have walked into a cemetery to leave flowers at a gravestone. I've cried at a chapel after the passing of a loved one, you know. I've picked flowers at a graveyard. All of these things are very real things that people have to do, you know. And maybe you're lucky enough to have not had to do them yet. If that's the case, I think you might actually enjoy this game if you don't mind that it's not as polished, you know. Well, and when I say not as polished, the second that I realized what type of zombie game it was, you have to understand that when I turned into a teenager, I think when I woke up, the 360 controller was just under my pillow. I don't know how to explain it. You just become a gamer when you turn 15. And I spent so much time playing Call of Duty Zombies. And that is something that's crazy because I don't even really like the game mode that much. It's not my favorite part of COD by any means. I always would have much rather just played regular multiplayer. So this just doesn't really compare to that at all. But I don't think it's supposed to. I think that all of the other stuff that goes around it, the actual need to prep yourself for the night ahead, that's where the gameplay loop comes in. And I could see that being very satisfying. But I think for me personally, the performance mixed with just the general tone of it, it's weird because I can tell that they tried to approach it with care. I just think it's a little bit outside of what I could handle long term. I've had family members and friends pass in ways that, if mentioned in I don't know. I've just been kind of rambling, enjoying the ambiance of the game. I almost feel like it's a clash of tone because they seem to hold the actual death part of it with at least a sense of respect. I'm not going to say reverence, but they're certainly not making a joke out of it. It seems they respect it. So to go from this like somber and morose sort of vibe of like operating a cemetery to shooting cartoon zombies, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. But I can tell that the development team has a lot of really cool ideas, and I think that in the terms of simulator games, this is far and away one of the most interesting and the ones that I would be the most interested in theoretically on paper. I just was really hoping that I could have ended it at the part that was nice and calm. But I think that nothing could have illustrated my point better than that right there. Right? Just as we were really getting into it and reflecting and winding up our thoughts on death and what it means and its depictions in media and if that's okay and stuff like that, we get hit with a 15-second loop. What a weird game, man. But you know what? I don't hate it. I just think it is vehemently not for me. But I wouldn't have known that if I didn't try it. And hey, you know what? Maybe you want some kusoge in your life. Maybe you looked at this and you said, you know what, dude? That looks just... I'll put it this way. I said it the other day when I was watching the Direct, or the Xbox Showcase. there are certain games that come out and everybody in the world agrees. Well, I say everybody in the world, and IGN and like all of the official game review blogs and stuff, they all agree a game is a 7 out of 10. I usually fucking love that game. So if sim games are like that for you, if you've played every TCG Shop Simulator and you've played Alien Shop Simulator, you've said Body Pillow Simulator or whatever the fuck, all the different, if you've played all of those and you haven't played this, you'll probably fuck with it. I've seen a lot more interesting things in this one than any of the others, but I guess that's just my thoughts. You know, I hope this makes sense. I don't know how this is all going to come together, because I think the important part of the content that I'm making here today is not the game is a springboard to a conversation about me, I suppose. So, or I guess not even me. I guess it's my relationship with games, or I don't know. You were fucking... I don't know why I'm retroactively trying to explain what the fucking point of it was. You were here. You know. I guess what I mean is I don't know how I'm going to edit this together in a way that makes sense. But I guess I'm just glad it's not my problem. I'll make Leo do it. Having an editor is sick, dog. Yeah, hell yeah. I forgot I could just make Leo do it. Anyway, let me know what you thought about Zombie Graveyard Simulator. Am I being soy? Am I too woke to live in today's America? let me know, dude. I wasn't. Am I done? I don't know, dude, because usually it's so easy to just hit the stop recording button. I guess I'm just stunlocked because I don't want to say that it's a bad game, because I don't think that it is. I just think okay, I'm just going to look for the button, and you know what? I'll put it this way. I don't know what else to say, but I feel like there's more I could say. So if you have thoughts, what the fuck did you think? Do you like, I made a joke about it, but am I being weird? Does this look cool? And I don't mean from the gameplay perspective, because again, let's all remember this is a smaller I'm making an assumption. I actually don't know. Hold on. Damn. Okay. Well, I guess, I usually do this part too. The demo is free, as you could imagine. The full game is on sale right now, but full price it is $14.99. So pretty much in line with the other sim type beats that I've seen. I'm trying to click on the developer and see what else they've done, because that'll give me a good idea. Yeah, so this is their third game. This is this development studio's third game. Can I just do this real quick? Write me and I bet you will. Look, so they've made 3 games. Their first, Saints and Sinners, seems to be kind of an Among Us type beat with a 3D art style. This is an early access game. The last update was made 4 years ago. So, we'll keep that in mind. And then what was this other one? Feather Party. A 3D multiplayer game that just seems to be like Mario Party, but with Angry Birds. Looks pretty cute, but also like not really anything crazy. Why show that though? What is the point of that? Dude, Zombie Graveyard Simulator is their first big single player offering. It's clearly got a lot more work. I think that this studio, this is their first big attempt, it seems, at something that is going to stick. I don't know if that's the right way to put it. Let me put it this way. Online party games and Mario Party games are only as good as the amount of people that you can get playing them. So I think that it would have been very fair to assume, and I think, let's just call a spade a spade. I think it's very fair to assume that this studio may not necessarily be chasing passion projects. It's not really a secret that it seems like everything they're putting out is a little bit on the trendier side or trying to catch a trend. Now, that may be wrong. Maybe they just happen to well, I guess, dude, I just feel like it's so hard to make statements when I don't fucking know anything. Is that why I've always thought maybe I'd be a good content creator because I never shut the fuck up, but I think too much. Am I not, should I just say, oh, the game looks bad and then not care? I don't think that it looks bad, but I don't think it looks good. I think it's very clearly the first, like, it makes sense. Like, I look at this list here and it makes sense, but I also don't think that makes the game bad. It's a good. It looks fine. I think that's the word that I should have been using this whole time. It looks fine, and it is fine. The game is fine. It's not for me, dude. Why am I losing my mind? I guess there's been a lot of stuff that never makes it to you guys because I don't want to be a dick, dude. I know what it's like to work really hard on something and put it out and not get the response that you want. It's clear that this game took a lot more effort than their other games. For what it's worth, it seems pretty polished. It's not super flashy. I think the audio mixing is very flat. Maybe that's just because I've been playing lots of games with 3D audio, but maybe the game has it, but it didn't feel that way when I was playing. The music and everything, and I'll say this, dude, the zombie killing part was by far the worst part. The other stuff seemed a lot more polished. Just the zombie killing part felt very flat. There didn't really feel like there was a lot of impact on shooting the zombies. Which makes sense, dude, because gunplay is a very difficult thing to get right. Almost every indie I play that uses guns, one of those things I have to get over is that the guns aren't going to feel like I grew up playing Call of Duty, dude. Of course, the guns in indie games aren't going to feel the same, right? But, again, I do think it's important to point these things out because I found myself playing games that I didn't like very much for longer than I thought I would, just because the loop is like easy enough or the idea is cool enough. But I don't know, dude. I think to sum up my thoughts on all of this is that I've just been thinking a lot about my relationship as somebody who gives criticism. My responsibility to you guys to be honest about games that I'm playing, but also to understand my own biases and not necessarily frame a game in a way that may push you away from it because it might be something that you enjoy. Like, I think I did a bad job of representing the game in this video after the editing process, and I tried to clean it up the best that I could. But I think this is pretty much quality-wise, perfectly in line from what I would expect from a sim game like this, especially from a smaller development studio. It just has a theme to it that hits me personally in a really weird way that I didn't expect. And I think maybe that's what made it so hard to put my thoughts to paper in a sense, is I was kind of very clouded by my own thoughts and the memories. I guess, like, just to be more specific, I have a very strong death associated memory in a chapel, so that in particular kind of mixed my shit up, and I just started talking out loud. But I think it's a conversation that I've enjoyed having, and I think it's important for me to be open and honest with you guys. I want you guys to know where my head's at, I don't want you guys to ever think that I'm just, like, because I know it might come across a certain way because I don't do a lot of research about the games that I'm going to play. But I think that's just because I really like to be surprised about stuff. And the more I learn about stuff, the less likely I am to give it a chance. I don't know if any of you guys are that way as well, but that's kind of always been how I am. So I tend to take that leap of faith more often than not. And I think that this game somehow has helped reframe how I look at these games and how I share my opinion on games. And I think if I keep talking, my brain will explode. Because it's been 2 days since I recorded this. But I've been thinking about it a lot. And who knows, man. I'm the kind of person that as soon as I edit this video segment together and put it into the final project, I just know I'm gonna think of more shit to say. So you should follow me on stream. If you have any follow-up questions, you can come over there and ask. I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time to 8:30 p.m. And then you can catch me on the weekends as well. We usually stream on Saturdays. And the time for that is put onto my Twitch page, which you can follow. Links in the description. And also, you've got the little visual over here. But more importantly, I think what I would like you to do, more so than liking, subscribing, and or following on Twitch or anything, I think that if you at least watched this far into the video, that maybe you have sort of the same mentality that I do about gaming, or at least about indie gaming. Go download this game and give it a try. I don't think I did a very good job of showing it off, but I do think I showed you enough to where if it looked interesting, if I'm just the guy that shows you a game that you play and not a guy whose opinion you respect, I'm not ideal, but I'll take that, man. So I feel like that maybe shows where my head is at. But you should also do all the other stuff too. That would mean a lot to me. Love you guys. Not parasocially. Pass. Sorry, I can't think of anything else. I'm just gonna pass for tonight. It's your turn. You do it. You do the outro. No, I was sick. I totally forgot. I actually have an outro from the video already. Never mind. You're off the hook this time. Just go enjoy me for a little longer. I stopped playing this game. The half of my recording is just me talking about gaming in the abstract. Maybe that's what this will be called. I don't know, dude. I need to go. I just need to go. I gotta go. I've spent so much of my life thinking about Zombie Graveyard Simulator. Play the demo if you want, or don't. I don't know, man. Tell your family you love them. And don't smoke cigarettes. I'll see you guys next time. Fucking peace.